Welcome to Virtual Gardening 101. This is a place where we dig into the digital soil and reap real results. A warm welcome to you if this is your first time viewing. To all my loyal subscribers, thank you so much for giving me the support, as without an audience it would be futile for me to sit and create content. Today, I'll be talking about the reasons you may be seeing some unusual marks on the leaves of your bromeliads. I hope this feature will help you to resolve this very important concern if you are currently dealing with the problem, or help you to prevent it altogether. Let's get right into it. So if you're seeing marks or blemishes on your bromeliad, it's not uncommon and you're not alone. The causes vary. I've identified about 5 major causes and will be dealing with them individually. Please watch the feature up to the end. Hopefully, you'll discover the reason or reasons you're experiencing the problem and how to deal with it. The first reason you may be experiencing spots on your bromeliads has to do with the environment, and environmental factors range from exposure to sunlight, cold weather, and also the water quality. Let's look at the exposure to sunlight. Even though some varieties like the neoregula requires sunlight to develop and maintain their beautiful colors, overexposure to direct sunlight for extended period of time can cause brown patches or bleached spots, and I've observed this. So how do we fix it? You're going to move your bromeliads to a location where there's adequate light, as in bright light but indirect sunlight. If you have them in a shaded location, you can't just put them out in the sun like that. You have to gradually introduce them, because overexposure again can cause damage to the foliage. It's just like somebody who has light skin, and if they spend an extended period of time in the sun, they will get sunburn if they don't use, some form of protection on their skin. Let's look at cold damage. Cold weather can damage bromeliads by causing water-soaked, necrotic patches, leaf discoloration, and slowed growth. Prolonged exposure to temperatures below 10 degrees Celsius is said to cause cold stress, making the plant more susceptible to rot and disease. To protect the bromeliads, you gotta keep them in a warm, sheltered spot and avoid exposure to frost or cold draft. And a draft there is essentially a small localized breeze that can be felt coming from a specific direction due to pressure differences. Let's look at water quality. Poor water quality can also cause problems for your bromeliads. Leaf spotting, discoloration, and mineral buildup. Hard water or water high in chlorine, fluoride, or salts can leave white or brown spots on the leaves. And let me explain what hard water is. It is water that contains a high concentration of dissolved minerals, primarily calcium and magnesium ions, which are picked up as the water passes through rock formation like limestone, chalk, or gypsum, making it feel hard when used with soap due to the difficulty in forming a lather. And essentially, we can appreciate that very much here in Jamaica, because we are said to be 2/3 limestone, and the opposite of soft water, which has low mineral content. So in order to prevent the spotting and stuff on the leaves, it's best to use rainwater, distilled or filtered water to keep your bromeliads healthy and free from chemical damage. Another reason you may be experiencing these marks on your plants has to do with the infestation by various pests. Insects like mealybugs, scale insects, and spider mites usually affect bromeliads. Mealybugs appear as tiny cotton-like patches. They cause yellowing of the leaves because they are sap-sucking insects and they feed on the juice of the plant. Depending on the amount of plants you're treating, you can simply wipe them off with a light solution of rubbing alcohol. Or you can use an insecticide also, just to be on the safe side. You have scale insects, and these appear as hard brown, or waxy bumps. These stubborn pests can be controlled with neem oil, or you can manually remove them if the infestation is not severe by just simply scraping them off. And then you have the spider mites, and the spider mites appear as tiny specks, and they are of various colors such as red, brown, yellow, green, orange, or cream, depending on the species and their life stage. And they can be controlled by using neem oil. There are various chemicals on the market, but I don't really want to advocate for those because they can be very harmful to our health. Fungal and bacterial infections can also impact the leaves of bromeliads and cause spotting. Leaf spot disease, for example, appear as small water-soaked spots that gradually turn brown or black with a yellow halo around them. These spots may grow larger, merge, and cause leaf tissue decay if left untreated. The disease is often caused by excess moisture and poor air circulation. The best approach to deal with leaf spot disease in bromeliads is to simply remove the affected leaves, improve air circulation, and avoid overhead watering to reduce moisture on the foliage. Apply a copper-based fungicide if the infection persists. Keep the plant in a well-ventilated area and water at the base instead of the top to prevent future outbreaks. Bacterial rot. Bacterial rot in bromeliads is a soft, mushy decay that causes leaves to turn dark and emit a foul odor. It is often triggered by excess moisture, poor air circulation, or contaminated tools. In order to manage it, you want to remove the affected areas by cutting off rotten leaves with sterilized scissors. Improve air circulation by placing the plant in a well-ventilated area. Avoid overhead watering and let the soil dry out between waterings. You can also let the central cup or tank dry out a bit between watering as well. And finally, you can use a bactericide that is copper-based to prevent further spread. Nutrient deficiencies and toxicity. If your bromeliad leaves are looking yellow or discolored, they might be lacking nutrients. The best fertilizer formulation for bromeliad is a balanced water-soluble fertilizer with a diluted ratio of 10% nitrogen, 10% phosphorus, 10% potassium, or 20% nitrogen, 20% phosphorus, and 20% potassium. Use it at quarter strength once a month during the growing season. Alternatively, a low nitrogen blend of 10% nitrogen, 5% phosphorus, and 5% potassium also helps to maintain compact growth without excessive foliage. Foliar feeding is also effective as bromeliads absorb nutrients through their leaves. Be mindful though, while you're trying to ensure that your plant or plants has or have enough nutrients, be mindful that over-fertilization can burn the leaves, and you can flush the soil occasionally with water to remove excess salts, and you can prevent the buildup of these salts by applying the fertilizer according to the manufacturer's instruction given on the label. Your bromeliads can be easily coated with sooty mold as well if they are close to plants that are infested with sap-sucking insects like whiteflies that excrete honeydew. This plant is next to a potato vine and the location gets a bit humid at times, so the conditions are right for this kind of pest. For purpose of information, sooty mold is a fungal disease that appears as a black powdery coating on plant, fruit, and other surfaces. It is caused by microscopic fungal threads that grow on honeydew, a sticky, sugary substance secreted by certain insects like the whiteflies. Finally, mechanical damage. scratches and bruises. To avoid these, you want to handle your plants carefully to avoid damage. Keep them away from pets or areas that are heavily trafficked. And if you're living in the Caribbean and other places that are prone to natural disasters like hurricane, you really need to have a secure location to put your plants. The leaves on this one suffered immensely during the passage of Hurricane Beryl last year. So this is a word to the wise. If you have watched up to this point, please let me know which of the problem or problems you have encountered the most, and if you found the feature helpful. As you go, please don't forget to leave a comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that you'll be alerted when I upload more informative features. Once again, thank you for interacting with the channel.